On this edition of All Hands Television, we go to the Dominican Republic. NASCAR rewards a sailor, and we take a look at motorcycle safety. Now, your host, Petty Officer Mark Schultz.
Welcome to All Hands Television. While the Navy is deployed around the globe conducting a variety of different missions, from carrier strike groups, amphibious ready groups, submarines, and a littoral combat ship, this month we're going to take a look at how one of our hospital ships is taking part in Continuing Promise 2009 and is building relationships in the Dominican Republic. Petty Officer Andrew Carlson met up with USNS Comfort to get a feel for the types of humanitarian missions our Navy is participating in. In that single port visit, doctors saw more than 11,000 patients, performed 206 surgical operations, and filled more than 18,000 prescriptions. Dentists conducted more than 5,500 dental services, and veterinarians performed more than 8,000 services. As Comfort wraps up Continuing Promise 2009, those numbers will have multiplied with each of its 7 port visits.
The sun rises over the Dominican Republic, and the hospital ship, USNS Comfort, makes her final preparations to drop anchor. At 8 a.m., a flag is raised over this Dominican military installation. Moments later, the first helo from the ship touches down, bringing guests for a kickoff ceremony. Service members from the Army, Air Force, Marines, and Navy are on board, as well as volunteers from non-governmental organizations. As for the Dominican Republic, this isn't Comfort's first stop. Actually, the team has worked together for quite a while.
Very beneficial. I've learned a lot. I think they've learned a lot. Everybody's very eager to share everything about, their traditions and history within their own services.
During the next 2 weeks, the crew of the Comfort will make good on the spirit of Continuing Promise 2009. But it's not just medical staff aboard the Comfort. Every day, Seabees go ashore and work on project sites. Take this, the primary laboratory in the country for research on HIV and AIDS.
Anytime you can get out and help any local community, any kind of humanitarian effort, there's always satisfaction in doing that.
It's something that I like to do as in being a construction worker, and they have a lot of construction projects for us to do, so I'm really excited to help people and be there for people.
But getting to the project sites is actually a long way from where the day starts.
They're going outside to get on a mission.
But his mission is pretty simple.
We're just handing out MREs and some water. They get 1 each and 2 waters.
The next stop for people heading off the ship is actually a small boat, 30 feet off the water.
Too many people on one side, it's going to go that way. So you want to board the boat and space yourself evenly in the boat.
Once on shore, the Seabees headed to their project sites, and medical personnel headed to improvised clinics. One of those sites is at the Otto Martinez School in Santo Domingo. This man and his daughter, Thomasina, showed up at 4 a.m. to wait to see a pediatrician.
I'm here because my daughter, she's sick, and I'm sick too.
But the simple idea of a routine exam can be a little tricky.
I speak a little bit of Spanish, so most of the issues that I can work through, but when they get more complicated, like this little boy's eye, I need a little help.
With the help of a translator, she learned the boys had 2 surgeries to fix his eyelid.
Mom's main concern for him was that he was getting made fun of at school because he was different from the other kids.
Kendall told the boy's mother that the surgeries on the ship are already booked for this visit. But at the end of the visit, she took the mother's information. This information will be provided to the Ministry of Health.
They're also going to be, first on the list for when we come back again.
After seeing a doctor, if a patient has a prescription, they stop by here.
Proxima, persona, por favor. I like the little kids that come by. They come by, especially today, I guess they're giving out teddy bears. So they come by the pharmacy and they're getting their medication and they always show me their teddy bear. And I can't really speak that much Spanish, so it's still a connection that we have, though.
One last friendly face after a visit to the free clinic.
They see doctors, ophthalmologists, dentists, and then they bring us the prescription sheet and we fill them.
This day at Otto Martinez, the pharmacists filled about 700 prescriptions.
Mastique una tableta cada día.
But these prescriptions don't typically come in 30-day packs. So before they can hand them out, there's work to be done in the ship's pharmacy. So pharmacy personnel make new labels for the medicine they're likely to give out. Even prescribing cough syrup can make a big impact on people's lives.
You know, you want to make sure the patient gets the right dose. And since some of our patients cannot speak or read English, it's important that we use a native language.
But for the pharmacy staff on Comfort, it really comes down to preparation.
So we're just making sure we get everything together. And as the doctors write for them, we have enough to give. That's the biggest thing we're doing. It's a long day every day, 7 days a week. It never ends. Starts now, we're working on now, and working on it for the next sites also. So it's nonstop. That's the build-up part. It's always the pain before the fun. But it's not a problem. You know, that's what we're here for.
For him, the fun part is leaving the ship and helping out. 2 decks above the pharmacy is the helo deck. Although most people can be treated in the clinics, some cannot. Because of rough seas, the hospital staff opted to have them flown in. One of the patients on board is a man who broke his leg and didn't have it set properly.
At this point, when he broke it, he started to heal it at about a 30-degree angle to his leg. He couldn't walk on it because of pain.
For the surgeons on Comfort, this isn't an unusual case.
So far, orthopedically, we've been getting a lot of people who can't walk to getting them to be able to walk again and function independently.
The ultimate goal for this man.
So by straightening this out, he'll be able to walk, the bone should heal, and then he'll go on and go back to work.
And by doing so, take care of his family.
And so I enjoy helping him get back to working and doing what they need to do.
During the visit to the Dominican Republic, the surgeons on board performed 206 operations. Back on shore, some Army soldiers are seeing a lot of patients.
Probably be roping them, and then they'll tighten them up to a tree so we can get a hold of them and do what we got to do.
These Army veterinarians are out vaccinating farm animals. Cows are roped by local ranch hands. Their back feet are tied to keep them from kicking. Then the vet, or his tech, grab the cow by the horns.
Goes through it pretty quick. This is a 50 mil syringe, so go through about 10 head per fill. Good.
The cows are given vitamins, a respiratory disease vaccination, and this purple juice, a dewormer applied by spray.
Oh, the major's purple.
But the soldiers aren't the only ones working the cattle.
How do you guys have veterinary students come out here?
Just for training. As we work with. I got that one.
They work with the local veterinary school to provide hands-on practice for these future vets.
Yeah. She's loose. Watch her.
Yeah.
Making a lasting impact for the people of this country. But aside from the actual care provided by these services, the crew is making a real impact.
Imagine if you were born and raised and you never went to see a doctor and never got any health care. And for some of our patients ashore, this is their big chance to see a doctor and get some quality care.
For All Hands Television, I'm Petty Officer Andrew Carlson.
Humanitarian missions like Continuing Promise take place in almost every theater. They help build and enable the maritime strategy as it supports one of the core capabilities. These partnerships, in turn, provide security to the U.S. in the way of friendship and alliances. Coming back from the break, we'll take a look at a partnership of a different kind, one that helped one of our own sailors in need.
Speed. It's a constant temptation. You know, just that momentary burst. What could it hurt? Well, it could hurt you. It could hurt someone else, too. Bikes today are rockets, just waiting for you to punch them. So speed is something you've got to keep a constant eye on. So watch your speed. And remember this, you can't play hurt on our team. Ride safe. You're part of the team. Deterrence remains one of our Navy's core capabilities and an important cornerstone of our maritime strategy. Preventing wars is preferable to fighting wars. Deterrence is represented by the working partnership of our maritime force, Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard. Deterrence helps to protect our way of life as we strive to prevent conflicts, but remain ready to fight them.